Non-contact rugby is a great way for players who are looking to try all the elements of rugby, but without the contact. The non-contact game is played under rules called T1 Rugby. In this video, we'll show you some suggested progressions on how to introduce T1 Rugby. These progressions can be introduced at a time which is right for your group. You may, for example, decide not to introduce Scrum or Lineouts, but have kicking or keep the two-touch rule. This is the great thing with T1 Rugby, that you can use it to stretch the group where needed, or simplify it to ensure success for all. There's further support, including the full rules, 6-week session plans and teaching resources, available on englandrugby.com/T1Rugby. Start by introducing teamwork, spatial awareness and pass catch through a game of 5 pass. The rules are simple. Try to make 5 continuous passes within your team, keeping the ball away from the defenders, who can only block and not take the ball. Go forwards is a key principle of rugby, and the first development emphasises this. The objective is to score a try over the opposition's try line. In this game, players can run with the ball, but must stop and pass when they're touched. They can still pass in any direction. To build players' confidence to go forwards, you might want to permit them 2 touches before they stop. So after the first touch, they can keep going but not score, but must stop and pass on the second touch from a different defender. To progress, now add the rip. Once touched, the ball carrier stops, turns to face their team, and the closest support player will come in, rip the ball and pass to another teammate. The ripping player has 3 steps to pass the ball, and the defending team can't block or impede the ripping players.
Don't block the rip, don't block the rip.
Once players are comfortable running forwards into space, passing and the rip, progress to introduce the passing backwards rule and an offside line. The defending players need to be onside. That means between the ball and the try line you're defending. Any offence in this game should be a free pass to the non-offending team. Remember, you can use the 2-touch rule to help players go forwards.
First touch, second touch, rip.
As players progress, now add in the rules for the defending players. The attacking action remains the same with the ripping player. In defence, the player who made the touch tackle has 2 teammates placing their outside hand on the tackler's shoulder. This action from the attackers and defenders forms the tackle triangle. At this point, also introduce that the attacking team has 7 phases of play to score, otherwise the ball will be turned over. Now it's time for kicking. Players can now kick in open play, but there's no contest in the air for the ball. To avoid any contest, the referee will decide which team will win it. A kick-off can also be used to start the game or restart after a try. These kick-offs can be any type of kick, but are not contested. So far, any drop balls or forward passes have been a free pass to the opposition. This will now be a 3-player uncontested scrum, with 3 players from each team. These 3 players stand next to each other with the outside player binding onto the outside shoulder of the opposition. There is no interlocking of heads and no pushing. If the 3 teammates are the same sex and are comfortable, they may bind on each other. It's uncontested, so the side putting in the ball must win it. The final element is the line-out, for when the ball or player holding the ball goes out. This will again be uncontested. 3 players against 3 players. The team throwing it in must win it. This is the full version of T1 Rugby. We hope you and your students enjoy the game. Remember, there is more support available at englandrugby.com/T1Rugby.